welcome to the first installment of I See What You Did There, where I take a look at interesting tidbits, history, background, Easter eggs, or anything you might not have noticed or been aware of the first time around. So for those of you who don't already know, the hit shonen manga Naruto finally ended last week, marking its 15-year reign with its final 700th chapter. Damn. Regardless of how you may personally feel about Naruto or shonen manga in general, you cannot deny the impact that Naruto had within the anime and manga community. So, to commemorate this accomplishment, I want to talk about something I thought was pretty interesting. It's about how Masashi Kishimoto used Japanese mythology within the manga, and what impact this has on the characters. The Tale of the Gallant Jiraiya. Sometimes Kishimoto will take direct influence from a popular myth or tale. In the case of the Sannin, or Three Great Ninja, they are basically characters taken off the page. Jiraiya, Tsunade, and Orochimaru are all very powerful ninja, each known for a particular creature that they summon. Jiraiya summons frogs or toads, Tsunade summons snails and slugs, and Orochimaru summons snakes. They are all named for the three primary characters from the story The Tale of the Gallant Jiraiya. Jiraiya is a ninja who can shapeshift into a toad. He falls in love with a princess named Tsunade who has mastered slug magic, and is betrayed by his former friend Orochimaru, who controls snake magic. For the most part, the characters in the manga follow the myth, with slight variations here and there. For example, instead of a princess, Tsunade becomes Hokage, the leader of the village hidden in the leaves. Overall, this is a pretty direct callback to the myth without that much differentiation. The Tailed Beasts. In the manga, there are 9 very powerful creatures called tailed beasts, each taking on a unique form. Most of these creatures are based somewhat on different monsters from Japanese mythology. The one tail, Shukaku, is based on a tanuki, a raccoon dog known for shapeshifting and mischief. The two tails, Matatabi, is based on a nekomata, a cat demon with a forked tail. The three tails, Isobu, is kind of a combination of monsters, a Suppa no Yurei, or ghost turtle, and Isunade, a relatively famous shark monster. The four tails, Son Goku, is based on a Satori, a mind-reading ape-like monster, and the name Son Goku comes from the famous monkey king of the story Journey to the West, for who Goku from Dragon Ball Z is also named. The five tails, Kokuo, is also a combination of monsters, a Sagari, a hanging horse monster, and a Bake Kujira, a ghost whale. The six tails, Saiken, is based on a Sazai Oni, a snail demon that resides in a giant turtle shell. The seven tails, Chome, is the only one that isn't really based off of a monster. Instead, it resembles a rhinoceros beetle. The eight tails, Gyuki, is based on an Ushi Oni, a creature with the face of an ox and the body of either a spider or an octopus. Finally, the nine tails, Kurama, is based on a kitsune, a spirit fox, more specifically the nine-tailed fox, or Kyubiko. Again, like the tale of Jiraiya, a lot of these characters have been pulled right off the pages of a storybook. In this last example, however, Kishimoto begins to make the stories more his own. Amaterasu, Tsukiyomi, and Susanoo. Three of the most powerful techniques that the Uchiha clan can inherit are Amaterasu, Tsukiyomi, and Susanoo. These three techniques are all named after well-known gods in the Japanese pantheon. Amaterasu, Tsukiyomi, and Susanoo are all born from Izanagi, one of the original deities responsible for creating the islands of Japan. After leaving the underworld, Izanagi performs a cleansing ritual, and in the process 3 gods are born. Amaterasu, the goddess of the sun, is born from his left eye. Tsukiyomi, the god of the moon, is born from his right eye, and Susanoo, the warrior god of storms, is born from his nose. All of these techniques are referred to as dojutsu, or eye-based techniques. Itachi Uchiha is the first one in the series to be shown using these techniques. However, there are other characters who have the Sharingan eyes who end up activating them later, including Itachi's younger brother, Sasuke. What's interesting about the brothers in particular is how they utilize these techniques. If you're following the original myth, Itachi actually activates these techniques backwards. He uses Amaterasu with the right eye and Tsukiyomi with the left eye, while Sasuke's techniques do follow the myth. Amaterasu on the left, Tsukiyomi on the right. Itachi has always felt separated and isolated from other members of his clan. Sasuke is the only one he openly showed any affection for. This is a nice way of showing the similarities and differences between the brothers. as for a majority of his life, Sasuke clings to the pride of the Uchiha clan. It emphasizes the idea that the brothers are mirrors for one another, similar yet different. Kishimoto manages to create distinct attacks that not only refer back to the original god or goddess, but also put an original spin on showcasing what powers or abilities they are known for. Amaterasu is a ninjutsu that creates pitch-black flames that are so powerful they are said to be as hot as the sun itself. Well, hey, Amaterasu is the goddess of the sun after all. But Amaterasu is known for her brightness and blinding light. Why would Kishimoto make the flames black? Well, this might harken back to the tale of Amaterasu hiding in a cave after she became upset with another god's actions. The world was cast into darkness without her presence, and was only saved when she came back out of the cave. It's possible the black flames are a nod to this, though there isn't any real confirmation. Whether this is the intention or not, Kishimoto's use of Amaterasu contrasts with other versions in that it doesn't focus on the brightness or blinding light of the sun. Instead, he takes the very opposite approach by making the flames black. Tsukiyomi is a genjutsu, or illusion technique, that traps the victim in an illusion completely under the wielder's control. Itachi is the one who we see use this technique most often, so a lot of the particulars, at least in reference back to Tsukiyomi, are seen in his illusions. Itachi can manipulate time, causing the victim to suffer for what appears to be 3 days. But, other than the moon clearly hanging in the sky in the illusion, how exactly does this refer back to Tsukiyomi? Well, as the god of the moon, Tsukiyomi is often associated with the passage of time, and Itachi's manipulation of time within the illusion serves as a callback to that association. Out of the 3 gods, Tsukiyomi is the least mentioned and doesn't have as many distinguishing features or attributes associated with him, so Kishimoto's Tsukiyomi is rather unique. Finally, Susanoo is a ninjutsu that creates a gigantic being of energy around the user, acting as both shield and sword. Each user creates a slightly different looking Susanoo depending on their strength or fighting technique, and each person's Susanoo can go through various different looking forms. Sasuke and Itachi's Susanoo each at one point possess a long nose, a nod back to his creation. Susanoo is known for his great feats as a warrior, having defeated many opponents or monsters. As such, the user is given their own warrior to manipulate in battle. One monster that Susanoo fights is the great 8-headed serpent or dragon, Orochi. At one point, Orochimaru, again known for his snake summoning powers, attacks Itachi while he has summoned Susanoo. This is most likely a callback to that particular battle. By taking the expectations and associations that these figures have within Japanese culture, Kishimoto manages to find a balance between honoring their stories and finding a way to make them his own. Some are very much adhering to their original stories, while some he takes more liberties with, changing up individual traits to make them unique to the Naruto world. Overall, the use of Japanese mythology helps to build this fictional world and give it more depth. Now, these are not the only instances in which Kishimoto uses mythology in his work, so keep an eye out for more of these and how he utilizes them. Thanks for tuning in to I See What You Did There. I'm Kaluna, and I'll see you next time.